Have you ever been in a situation or a circumstance where you literally didn't know what to do? Have your issues and your problems towered over you like Mount Everest? Well, today, you will receive the solution. Today, you will receive the very blueprint on how to get through any issue and any problem and any struggle in your life. Today, we'll be diving into the life of Miss Harriet Moses Tubman. And you're going to see her life in a way that you probably have never seen it before. What we're going to do is take some time and look at the different obstacles and the mountains that she had to climb in order to reach her success. And we know that by looking at these same principles and the decisions that she made, if we apply these, we also will reach success. And as you're in whatever storm you're in, you'll be able to fly over the clouds just like an eagle. So this is Harriet Tubman, child of God. Araminta Ross was born into a life of slavery. As she got older, she realized what was going on. Her people were being oppressed, beaten, belittled, and even killed. For what? Just because of the color of their skin. With this treatment, she turned to God and started to pray. She prayed for a way out. She prayed for freedom. A while later, when she was a teenager, she saw one of her fellow mates being mistreated in front of her very eyes. And she said, "Enough is enough." She stood up to the slave master, and what started as a stand for justice ended with her having a broken skull. This could have easily been the end for her, but she and the oppressors didn't even know this was only the beginning. As a result of her head injury, she started to have visions and dreams. And through this, because of her faith and trust in God, she received the very blueprint, the very keys to what she wanted for so long: freedom. In the days that followed, her relationship with God got stronger and stronger, and her visions and dreams got clearer. She no longer marched to the beat of the slave master's drum, for she marched to the beat of a different drummer. She didn't let their opinions of her become her reality. Their words meant very little now. They didn't hold the same weight, for she knew who she was. Most importantly, she knew whose she was. She was a child of God. With fresh zeal and determination, she said her goodbyes and started on her journey to the north. Her path was guided by the North Star, but her way was guided by the Lord. So that was part one. And in part one alone, there are three key gems, three key principles, just like Harriet Tubman took, that if we apply these to our lives, our problems will no longer be towering over us, but we'll be towering over them. And all that's really needed is a mental shift, a change of perspective. And after you change your mindset, you will see that the glass has never been half empty. It's always been half full. And the three key principles are: number one, decide that you want change. Number two, do not rely upon your own understanding, but put your faith and trust in God, and He will lead you all the way. And number three, move forward. Now, with our principles in mind, we will see the exact moments and instances in which Harriet Tubman put these principles into practice. As Harriet Tubman grew up, she was submerged by oppression. She saw many people that were mistreated, many people that were abused because they were different, because of the color of their skin. And after a while, this really did something to her psyche. Though she was surrounded by so many people that had been enslaved since they were very young and they grew up, some people got used to it. And this didn't happen for Harriet. Though she sat in the church and she sang these songs of encouragement and of hope, she really wanted to be free. And this is when she decided that she wanted change. She had heard the stories of other slaves that tried to escape before, and was sadly brought back and made an example of. She didn't want to meet the same fate that they met. So what she decided to do was not to lean upon her own understanding like they did. After all, how could their mind lead them to somewhere that they've never been? She decided to rely on one greater. She decided to listen to the preacher and to put these songs and these different things into practice. She decided to rely on God. And this is exactly what Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says when it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Then a few days later, she saw a slave master mistreating a slave, and she stood up for freedom, and she said, "Look," she said, "enough is enough." And what happened as a result of that, she received a head injury and a broken skull. And this changed her life forever. Not only her physical features, but her brain. And what happened as a result of this, it was through this incident that God started to give her visions and dreams. These visions and dreams were so key and so important because this is the tool that God used in order to show her her future, and not only show her her future, but the different paths and things that she needed to take along her journey. So in essence, she received the very keys, the very blueprint to what she wanted for all those years, which is freedom. And the last principle she put into action, she started off on a journey with the Lord, and she went to make her dream become a reality. It's one thing to say you want to do something, but it's another thing to actually step out on your faith and move forward. Family and friends, it just literally takes a little bit of faith. And once we put that little faith in God into action, he can do so much with that. In Matthew 17:20, Jesus is having a conversation with his disciples, and they literally have no faith whatsoever, but this is what he says. He replied, "Because you have so little faith, truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." Family and friends, it is when we put our faith and trust in God that he shows us what it says in Jeremiah 29:11. "For I know the plans that I have for you, plans not to harm you, but to prosper you, give you hope and a future." It doesn't matter what it is that you're going through. All this is here to do is to strengthen you, is to build you, and help push you to the very next level. I hope this was something that you enjoyed. I hope after watching this video, you feel empowered. Definitely share this with your family and friends and encourage someone. This was the beginning, and join us for part 2 as we journey north.